Do I want to do this Sneako segment? I wasn't even planning on it, but I was gonna. But like I was potentially going to watch like Ethan's reaction to Abbott and Preach. We already covered Abbott and Preach, so I was like, I don't know. And I saw it said new Sneako cringe dropped, and then I looked into it, and I don't even know if it's Sneako cringe. It might actually be a Sneako. Maybe a Sneako's right here. So now let's just watch it. It's a very short segment from them. It's only a couple minutes. Just
this was a really fun take I saw on TikTok.
What happened?
I think Love found this one. This one's awesome, dude.
Okay.
It's a banger.
This is a banger. Here, you're gonna like this.
What happens when you put 100 million women on birth control?
Okay.
And they urinate all the birth control hormones and estrogen into the water.
What happened?
And then the power plants and the filtration plants and the plants that process and treat the water are known not to treat estrogen or hormones, whether it's testosterone or estrogen or whatever all these hormones are. So I think there's a big conspiracy as to why people are becoming extremely effeminate.
So
it might have to do with the water supply.
So it's interesting because I started looking into this, and it ties into a greater conversation because they're kind of they're kind of right. Hold on, okay.
There's a big conspiracy as to why people are becoming extremely effeminate.
So that part is silly goosery. I don't think that there's any study, and I looked. There's no study that will say that like there are so many hormones into our water that it's making men more effeminate. Okay, if there is though, these two are drinking the water. But this is a really positive conversation to have because it's not just about. First of all, we piss away our hormones in general, like whether we're on birth control or not. But the better conversation, if you remove the conspiracy theory from it, is that like, yeah, these things aren't filtered out, but it's not just birth control hormones, right? My wife and I were talking about like some of the protocols where she works is that like if they don't use a certain prescription, they flush it down the toilet. And so imagine you're flushing like non-use pills in our everyday lives into the toilet. That's not really good for like the filtration system. Is it enough to have profound impacts? I don't know. I don't think that they've done enough to really display that, but I think it's something to think about. You know, I think it's something to think about. Any pill that's going into the water, you know, and I don't know if charcoal filters out hormones. Let me see. But like, let's say you're flushing your Vicodin or something. You know what I mean? But in general, activated carbon filters are your best choice if you are on a tight budget. They remove a wide range of different contaminants, including steroid, estrogens, and many estronic substances, like whatever. So a bunch of words I don't understand. So, you know, I use a Brita filter with a charcoal filter. I believe it's a charcoal filter. So I'm safe, guys. Okay. But it's still something interesting. I just don't think that you have any data that would be able to support this idea that people are being feminized because the women are on birth control and it's going into the sewage system. That's a bit of a stretch, but it is an interesting conversation to have. So
it might have to do with the water supply.
So this guy's thesis is, first of all, that somehow, first of all, birth control is the enemy.
Right.
We start with birth control.
Right.
We don't want women to be empowered with their sexuality.
Well, that's actually a good point too. I wonder what the logic is behind calling out specifically birth control. Like, why are they saying women shouldn't be on birth control? Because women like birth control. It helps them control, not just when it comes to babies, but also helps moderate their period. A lot of women benefit from it. So
we start with birth control.
Right.
We don't want women to be empowered.
I love.
Sexuality. So let's take.
Then, bro, fuckboys love girls on birth control. Then you could just kind of pump it. You shouldn't though. You should still wear a condom. STDs, guys. All right, and there's always that chance you can get them pregnant. So
we go to peeing it out. Well, my favorite is estrogen makes people act
feminine,
act like a bunch of ladies. Maybe is there lots of people acting effeminate? Is that a thing?
I don't think so. I think that there's a lot. I mean, because they're just gonna say Western people are like too feminine. But by this, so what's funny though is really interesting because they're saying that this is the problem with their whole argument is that they are saying that we have too many feminine men nowadays because women have birth control and it pisses into the toilet. But then they complain that our Western women aren't feminine enough. So how is it that the women that are directly taking the hormones too masculine, because Western women are too masculine, they're not submissive, blah, 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 but the men are somehow too feminine? It doesn't really make sense, because if the men were getting feminized by just like slight traces of potential estrogen into the water that they're drinking, then by that logic, the women would be additionally feminine, but they're not. So the whole logic breaks down there. And it's so funny that like they're that's how that's like a level of truth is in every lie. A good lie is going to have like a little, their lie is terrible because again, things go into the water, right? You know, if you flush down your medications, but that doesn't mean that people are getting like drastically affected. It's just something to talk about. And maybe we should push back for more, you know, better, like safer medical, you know, bring your pills to your doctor, basically. Just drink water and pee it out. Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Maybe people are feeling more comfortable.
He's like,
Is that a bad thing?
You don't really see cowboys and roping steer no more. I think it's all the estrogen in the water.
Why?
Yeah, so I hate to blow this guy's mind, but I did some research. It turns out there's more estrogen in an apple
Really?
Is there
than
really?
a glass of tap water.
Is there really more estrogen than that? But we have such a fat society. What? That's interesting. How much estrogen is in an apple? I don't even. We're going down a weird path. What?
So I don't know, but apples are pretty gay, so I'm
True,
careful about that. Yeah.
Darn good apple pie.
Let's see. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, they're all gay. Those have those have estrogen in it. More than
And they have soy protein, and soy protein is gay too. So
tap water. Whole grains, gay. Whole grain, oats, barley, wheat bran. Those are gay. I don't know about you, but man, I had like
it is adding up, though. This is why Andrew Tate drinks sparkling water. It makes a lot of sense.
had me like a nice little peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some banana on it, and I felt so gay afterwards, boy. It's like I took a birth control pill. Fruits and vegetables, apples, carrots, pomegranates, cranberries are all gay, super gay, more estrogen.
I mean, they would just counter with you drink more water than you eat fruit, so.
And a glass of water. Gay. And this might shock you. Almonds, pistachios, and walnuts are all super gay as well. They'll make you act super effeminate.
Or everything that's healthy, those guys can stay away from.
That's why we just eat meat.
Yeah.
Just uncooked red meat. Oh, but this is gonna blow their mind. Coffee, tea, and red wine are super gay. Those all have estrogen in it.
Well, they also all have water in it. Fruit is very water dense, but
more than a glass of tap water.
But do you even pee out when you pee? Like, what are they even talking about?
Yeah, no, that is a thing.
Sorry. It is a thing, but it's like parts per billion. You know, it's like beyond negligible.
Yeah, when I looked it up and Love sent it the other day, and something like 90%.
That's why Trump drinks Diet Coke. Honestly, Diet Coke's a banger. Although Diet Dr. Pepper, you really cannot. You can't beat that. I've been drinking Diet Dr. Pepper out of the little bottles. There's something about those little bottles. It's like you drink it, and every time you can taste the amount of plastic that you're about to throw away. You know, it's incredible. But I do recycle, so don't worry.
Percent of the estrogen in tap water comes from agriculture.
Okay.
So it's in everything.
Because it's in everything, yeah. And
wait,
I
what's
think
that statistic? It's interesting.
From agriculture, I think like 90% of the estrogen in tap water comes from agriculture.
Interesting. Are they saying that like 90% of the estrogen comes from the hormones that they put inside of our animals to like make sure they're nice and healthy and beefy and strong or whatever? Interesting.
So it's in everything.
Because it's in everything,
Yeah.
And I think it was like 1% or something of it came possibly from contamination from birth control.
Also, he says that they can't remove it from the water supply, but that's also not true. I just asked.
Well, I think he was saying.
I think he's just talking about how like whatever filters that they use for water treatment facilities don't filter that out specifically, or they don't treat it for that, so it might get into there. But if you use like a charcoal filter, apparently charcoal filters will filter that out.
And they purposely don't. Like they're purposely letting it.
Oh, is that what he was? Is that what he's trying to say? That they purposely don't feminize people? I don't know if that I picked that up out of that.
Really, what he meant?
Yeah, because he's like talking all conspiracy, like they're trying to sissify us all.
It's
Yeah.
broke
Trying to
down.
bimbify us.
And I don't understand. Like, they never explain why. Why does the government want us all to be more effeminate?
You're a bunch of pussies.
Why? What's the end game? I just don't get it. The
Right.
conspiracy.
Not
So
sure.
So the conspiracy would be to make us more easily controlled, you know. But again, if we're going to go with this conspiracy, I imagine that it would be easier to control a population by making them obese and not monitoring the incredibly addictive substances inside of our food than it would be to make us all like women, right? Like if I was the government and I was going to run a conspiracy to control people, I would make them fat. I would make them fat so that they're like lazier. They have less energy or motivation to do anything about anything. If I'm just being real. So if there's anything that we should call out, maybe it's the FDA that doesn't make sure that our food is as healthy as foods in other countries. I mean, like our McDonald's, my understanding is worse than McDonald's in like Europe because our FDA is like abysmal. They don't even have like rainbow sprinkles in Europe because whatever they put in the rainbow sprinkles is like so bad for you. Like wheat thins, they don't allow those in Europe or some shit like that because they're so bad for you. So I would say obesity is so much easier to control people with. You get them addicted to food or alcohol or cigarettes or just anything. They have less energy. They're lazier. They don't think as straight. They just like fucking sit around it all day. I get them addicted to their cell phones. If you want to talk about something, and I don't think that there's any active government control because like what do we see? The Discord leaks. Some fucking like kid leaked a bunch of Discord shit. So I very highly doubt that the government is capable enough to engage in this. But I would do that. That's what I would do. Honestly, makes a lot more sense to me.
yeah. So that was a great one. I really enjoyed that.
Or estrogen or whatever all these.
By the way, these dudes like they're not only not doctors, they're just like the dumbest person you knew in high school.
They're like dumb as a cardboard.
And they're coming out here with like medical analysis of tap water.
Hey guys, don't get the COVID shot, you know, because it's all a conspiracy. That's why I have COVID. They say that everybody gets like a booster. I like wish I got a booster now. I got the Pfizer like a year or two ago whenever I had to get it because my wife needed to get it for her job. So we got it together and I got COVID like in the middle of the first and second shot. And then we just randomly got COVID recently. It's horrible. Like I would say get the damn booster. You know, it sucks. You're out of work. You make less money. It sucks. And these are the guys saying that you shouldn't get the booster or any COVID thing. It sucks, bro. It's poop. It's worse than a cold, at least for me. But these are the guys saying that COVID's all fake. It's not. It sucks. It's terrible.
They can't even like control not looking stupid. You know, he's saying it and he looks so stupid as he's saying it. It's like, dude,
This is the
just stop.
yeah. This is the dude who in high school I think I knew him. He's the dude who would like puke in the bathroom from taking too much like Vicodin or something. Yo, dude, the water supply is turning us gay.
Yeah, I had a conversation with this kid too. That's when like Sneako and this kid ran away. Because they're talking about how China was so much better because they control their TikToks. Because in China, their TikToks are more educational, which is a good thing. And then I was like, yeah, that's because they have no freedom of speech. And they're like, no, blah, blah, blah. And then they ran away because they couldn't engage in a conversation because they're afraid of looking stupid and being wrong. Although I will say TikTok in America has now added a STEM tab. So there's like a science and whatever the fuck else that it means. So that's good. Does McDonald's taste better in Europe, though? I don't know. Maybe. I've never been to Europe.
It's great. The manosphere
Yeah, at least I'll be protected for a bit.
shit
True.
is such brain rot.
What happens when you put 100 million women on birth control
Okay.
and they urinate all the
Hopefully into my fucking mouth, you know?
birth control hormones and
That's our music? Hell yeah.
estrogen into the water?
Gee,
And
what
then
happens? I don't know.
the
Maybe
power
go to a
plant-
class.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like,
Maybe
you
go to
don't-
school.
You don't
learn
have to
something.
ask. There's actually people that can answer that.
Yeah, like if you're really curious about something, go study it.
That's it. That's the best part. It's
Why
like,
are you
Well, I think he's asking it in the way of like, you know, asking a question that you already know the answer to. What happens it's like when you watch like a Ripley, we go to Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, and they say, what happens when somebody goes to meet up a headhunting tribe in South Africa? Billy Bungletoad came back and he was with no fucking head. You know what I mean? That's what they'll use. I don't think it's quite like, I don't think they're asking a legitimate question. They're just giving you an illegitimate answer, you know?
Asking this dumb guy that's doing like,
He's like, I just like to experiment.
I think you're asking the wrong people.
Dude, there's like chemists who specialize in like water, like sewage water and water recycling. Like they'd be a great person to ask about this.
Science is gay.
Science is
And
gay.
the filtration plants and the plants that process and treat the water are known not to treat.
You know,
You seem so passionate about like the filtration systems. Like, go study something.
yeah,
Go do something with your tiny little brain.
it is interesting, the topics that you've identified.
Just exercise it a little bit.
Right.
He's just
Estrogen.
he's just
or
concerned for his piss
hormone.
drinking consumption.
Why
Just to
is
be
it
sure.
that when I drink piss, I feel a little fruity? When I drink my homie's piss, why is it that I feel a little effeminate afterwards?
I'm gay.
Yeah, these guys rule. So you said that they had to rage quit because they were so annoyed by me?
I just sent you a timestamp.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see how
All right, well, I'm safe. I'm safe from as I use a carbon filter, so I'm safe from turning into a lady.